everyone, thanks for joining me. This is Heather, and today I am back with another Halloween card tutorial for you. We're going to be making this fun witch flying in front of the moon over top of some trees for sort of a spooky forest Halloween card. And I'm using some dies from the new Stampin' Up! 2017 holiday catalog from the Card Front Builder dies. We're going to be using both of the, both of the tree dies and the moon and the stars die. And then we're also going to be using stamps from a set from last year from Stampin' Up! Called Spooky Fun. And we're going to be using the witch, one of the bats, and the moon. And there was a coordinating die set with this, and we're also going to be using the witch die that goes along with this set. I don't think that this set is available any longer since it was from last year, but you could probably pick it up secondhand, maybe find it on eBay. But it was, I really wanted the witch and a big moon for her to be flying in front of, so I got that set out from last year. So you're also going to be needing a black cardstock base. That's just 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock cut in half and folded. Then some pattern paper. This was also from last year's Stampin' Up! And I apologize, I cannot remember the name of the pack that this came from. It's got some cool bats, which would also work with this card as well, but I like the stripe, but any kind of a Halloween stripey pattern paper that you might have. You're going to need a piece of orange that goes with our pattern paper, some gray cardstock for the background, some green for the trees, some yellow for the moon, and also to put behind the opening of the stars die, and some white for the witch. So let's get started. So I'm just going to go ahead and layer my pattern paper on front of my card base just with some regular adhesive, and just center that. And this is cut to 5 1/4 by 4, just so that a little bit of the black will show through. And we're just going to set that off to the side. And now we've got, well, we'll keep the orange off to the side too. And now we've got our gray piece. And the gray has been cut to 4 1/4 by 3 1/4, so it is slightly smaller than the orange, which is 4 1/2 by 3 1/2. And we are going to take our moon and stars die and grab a little piece of repositionable tape, a couple little pieces here, and when we're going to tape this in place, you want to bring it down just a little bit. Don't place it up against the edge, because you want a little bit of room to place some adhesive up there. So we're just going to take a little bit of tape and tape that down. I'm going to grab our green cardstock piece. And this is, oh, sorry about the camera. This is just large enough to cut out the tree dies. Again, we'll grab a couple little pieces of repositionable tape. These don't necessarily have to be taped down, but I just like to make sure that they're not gonna slide around inside of my die cut machine. And we're going to bring the die cut machine over. And I'm just using my Sizzix Big Shot to get my plates out here and lay my sun and moon and the trees, make my sandwich. And we're gonna run that through the Big Shot. Okay, sorry about that. I had a little bit of camera trouble when I ran my dies through my Sizzix. It knocked my camera over. So I've just gone ahead and taken those out. You guys all know what it's like to die cut pieces. So from the gray, I've cut the stars and the moon, and from the green piece, I've cut out both of the trees. So we're not gonna need all the little bits and pieces. You could keep those maybe for a shaker card, and we're done with the part that we cut open. And so we're going to turn our gray piece over, get our regular adhesive, and add just small amounts of adhesive to the back. And then we want a piece of yellow cardstock that will just cover up all of the openings that we just die cut. And the one that I'm using is 4 1/4 by 2. And I'm just gonna lay that over top and make sure all my stars are covered. And I've got just a little bit hanging off the edge. That's okay. I'm just gonna take my scissors and just kind of trim that off a little bit. So we've got those nice stars kind of shining there. Okay, so now we're going to grab our scrap pieces of yellow and white. I am using basil textured paper just because I like the kind of textured look that it gives, and just some Memento black ink. It's just kind of my standard black go-to ink that I like to use, and we're going to stamp the moon out on the yellow. That. And then we're going to stamp the witch onto the white. Sure we got enough ink on there. Stamp her out. And neither of these need to be centered because we're either going to cut or die cut them out. And so I'm just going to use my scissors to cut the moon out. And then I'm also going to take another little piece of repositionable tape and place that over top with the witch die. Get that centered in there so that that can be die cut. So I'm going to cut this out with the scissors and die cut this with my die cut machine, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got my moon and my witch, my trees and my background, and we're going to go ahead and start to put this together. So on the back of the trees, I'm actually going to use a glue pen just because there's so many little small pieces there. Add some of that glue pen, and I don't want the entire tree. I want it to look like she's flying kind of over the tops of trees. So I'm going to have just a bit of these hanging off of the bottom. Flip that over and put a little bit of glue pen on there and put that on our gray card front. That. And now we're just going to turn it over and take our scissors and just trim off the excess of the trees like that. And then, like I said, I really liked the large moon, so we're actually going to be covering up the moon of the die cut with the stamped moon. And just a little bit of regular adhesive there. And place that over top. Whoops. I just still want to be able to see some of those stars off to the side there. And then we're going to adhere our witch with a little square of foam tape. Oops, get the backing off there. And the other backing. And let's position her flying over the moon. That. And I'm going to grab my Memento Black again and one of the bats, and I'm going to stamp a couple of bats flying around the trees here, like so. I'll have this one kind of going off the edge just a little bit. So you've got your bats flying around. Pull our orange cardstock back over, and like I said, it's just slightly larger than our gray piece. I'm gonna adhere that down and center that over the orange. Like that. Bring our card base over that has the pattern paper, and again, just with regular adhesive. Put that down in the center. And now we've got a fun little Halloween kind of spooky forest scene of a witch flying over a moon. I just think that is really fun. I also have an alternative to show you in case you don't have the Spooky Fun set. It is still using the card front builder dies, but it's using the bat stamp from the Graveyard Gate, which is currently available and new from Stampin' Up! In the holiday catalog. And what I've done is used the frame from the card front builder dies, done the trees and the moon exactly the same, just added some extra bats and used the Have a Haunted Halloween word set and just kind of popped the background up. So if you don't have this other set, you want a little bit of a different alternative. This is still kind of a fun, spooky Halloween forest as well, but all of these products are currently available using the Graveyard Gate and card front builder dies. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that you have a really happy Halloween. This is Heather. Have a great day. Bye.